On October 14, 2023, an annular solar eclipse will grace the southwestern United States and Central America, presenting the mesmerizing Ring of Fire spectacle. Safety is paramount. Never look at the sun directly. Utilize solar filters and eclipse glasses for safe viewing. Sky watchers are anticipating this event, and our columnist delves into the future of eclipses, explaining how annular eclipses will become the norm. Join the excitement as we gear up for the upcoming solar eclipse. Shivani Patel, 24, left her corporate job at L'Oreal to contribute to the construction of the Baps Akshardham, the largest Hindu temple in the U.S. The temple, located in Robbinsville, New Jersey, involved the efforts of around 12,500 volunteers, highlighting the dedication of the Swaminarayan community. A grand dedication ceremony, attended by spiritual leaders and dignitaries, showcased Indian architectural excellence and culture. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the temple's significance in a congratulatory message. The recent conflict between Hamas and Israel has claimed over 1,100 lives, drawing attention to Iran's involvement. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken mentioned that Iran has yet to use the $6 billion unfrozen in a recent prisoner swap. The swap involved releasing 5 U.S. citizens detained in Iran and transferring $6 billion of Iranian funds frozen in South Korea. The funds are under Qatar's oversight and restricted to humanitarian uses, ensuring no U.S. taxpayer dollars were involved. In response to a significant Hamas offensive, Israel launched airstrikes in Gaza, intensifying the deadliest conflict in the region in 50 years. Over 700 Israelis and at least 560 Palestinians have been killed, with the toll surpassing 1,300. Hamas has taken Israelis hostage, prompting Israel's declaration of war. The Israel Defense Forces targeted over 1,000 enemy locations. Amid the conflict, concerns about potential cyber attacks on Israel persist. Gaza remains under a blockade since 2007, aggravating an already dire humanitarian situation. China urged restraint and called for an end to escalating tensions between Palestine and Israel, advocating for the two-state solution to resolve the conflict. Despite Israel expecting a stronger condemnation of Hamas, China views it as a resistance organization, not a terrorist group. The Israeli embassy in China called for solidarity and support during the ongoing crisis. Tensions have surged following a surprise attack by Hamas on Israel, prompting international calls for de-escalation and peaceful resolution. President Joe Biden faced criticism, particularly from right-wing figures, for hosting a barbecue at the White House amid the escalating Israel-Hamas conflict. The event occurred a day after Hamas initiated a surprise incursion, resulting in a significant loss of lives. Critics, including Republican Senator Josh Hawley, questioned the timing of the gathering, given the ongoing crisis, with mentions of American hostages held by Hamas further fueling the disapproval. The event stirred controversy amidst a deadly escalation in the Israel-Palestine conflict. Over 200 people gathered in Hillsborough County to demonstrate support for Palestine, reacting to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's declaration of war following Hamas attacks. Protesters stood against U.S. support for Israel, citing dire conditions in Gaza as an open-air prison and urging an end to Israeli policies. The event, monitored by various law enforcement agencies, emphasized the need for humanitarian aid and criticized blind backing of Israel's actions. The demonstration underscored the human rights aspect of the ongoing conflict. Rescue operations are underway in Herat, Afghanistan, following the devastating earthquakes that claimed at least 2,400 lives, according to the Taliban. Neighboring countries, including Pakistan, Iran, and China, have offered assistance. The quakes damaged historic minarets while leaving many trapped under rubble. Afghanistan's healthcare system, already strained due to previous challenges, faces additional hurdles in providing aid. Concerns over Taliban restrictions and other global crises are impacting international financial support for relief efforts. The death toll is expected to rise as remote areas report casualties. Air raid sirens blared in Tel Aviv as Hamas al-Qassam brigades launched another missile barrage. Israel's Iron Dome intercepted some rockets, but the extent of penetration remains unknown. In response, Israel intensified strikes, hitting over 500 Hamas and Islamic Jihad targets, including tunnels and command centers. Ongoing battles with Hamas led to the deployment of combat divisions and reservists. The death toll from the surprise Hamas attack climbed to 700, with casualties from a music festival and U.S. citizens among the victims. 6 Colombian men suspected of assassinating Ecuadorean presidential candidate Fernando Villavicencio were discovered dead in the littoral penitentiary in Guayaquil. The circumstances of their deaths remain undisclosed. Villavicencio, a prominent journalist, was fatally shot in August, and the alleged assassins, linked to Mexico's Sinaloa drug cartel, were in custody. Ecuador's National Prosecutor's Office was nearing the completion of its investigation into the murder. Authorities conducted an operation in response to disturbances in the prison, where the bodies were sent for autopsies. Retired General Barry McCaffrey stated that the U.S. could directly intervene with air and naval strikes if Israel faced a severe threat, particularly if neighboring nations like Hezbollah, Syria, Iran, and Egypt became heavily involved. The recent Hamas attacks on Israel have escalated tensions, leading to casualties on both sides. The U.S. is deploying an aircraft carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean to deter potential conflicts involving Israel's neighboring countries. McCaffrey emphasized the U.S.'s unwavering support for Israel in the face of significant threats.